Premier Doug Ford says his patience is running low with Ontario's teachers' unions. He made the comment today in Ottawa and has called on teachers to step up like other frontline workers have throughout the pandemic. Meanwhile, Ontario's Chief Medical Officer of Health says teachers won't be at an elevated risk when they head back to school.
It's time the teachers step up. Everyone else is sacrificed and differentiate between the great teachers we have in this province versus the teachers union that wanted to fight with every government for the last 50 years. And I can tell you my patients are running very low with the teachers union.
The comment from Premier Ford today sparking outrage amongst teachers who say they have stepped up and are waiting for the government to do the same.
It helps not at all to have the Premier demoralizing frontline workers, and I'd say it's time for the Premier to step up.
Teachers' unions say they are simply demanding the same kind of safety measures that have been put in place in every other public space in the province.
This is the Premier reverting to form, blaming others for his own shortcomings, and absolutely it's unfair.
Mr. Ford is looking for any excuse possible to blame anyone else. They show no respect, not just for the workers, but for public education as a whole.
And Ontario's Chief Medical Officer of Health was asked today if teachers are at a greater risk than other essential workers.
I don't think they'll be at more risk than other people if you do all the infection prevention control practices. By doing what you need to do every time, all the time, and being aware of that, you will not be at risk because it's a virus. It's droplet spread. It doesn't happen by magic. It's distances and things like that.
But physical distancing has been the top concern for teachers. They say it will be next to impossible in their classrooms, some of which will have 30 or more students in tight spaces come September.
I don't understand why classrooms don't get the same attention. This is where the Premier needs to step up and make sure there's enough personnel that these classes can be smaller so that 2 meters of distancing that the Chief Medical Officer insists on can be followed within our classrooms.
Ontario's Chief Medical Officer of Health was also asked today if he thinks returning to school is unsafe. He says based on the advice from experts across the country and around the world, he says it's safe if everyone follows infection prevention guidelines. He was also asked if he would send his own grandchildren back to school, and he said yes.